right there. There we go. Three, two, and one. Well, Mayor Mike, welcome to the casual Friday edition of
Of
Mayor's
me.
Monday. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and let the cat out of the bag right now. Yeah, we don't record these on Monday. Five in the morning, and I don't get along. Period. That's why we don't do this on Monday morning. Mayor Wiza is a little more on talking terms with 5 a.m. than I am, but
Yeah.
we're recording this on Friday, and as you can tell, Mayor Wiza with just the straight casual Friday look.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, Michael, and it was a pleasure. Jefferson School, elementary
Mm-hmm.
school, had a program today called Dress Your Best Day. So
Mm-hmm.
they encourage the kids, kindergarten through I think fifth or sixth grade, to dress up, and they make it like an elegant dinner for lunch. But
Mm-hmm.
it's the same lunch. It was mac and cheese and cheese pizza, along with some fruit and this thing called a freezy, which looks like a sorbet, but it's in one
Mm-hmm.
of those cups that I remember as a kid that you used to get like the chocolate malteds in.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
almost all of the kids loved it. There were a couple of kids that told me it was gross, but I got to spend my lunch hour
Yeah.
with kindergartners through fifth grade. Some of them were very cool. They're like, "Do
Mm-hmm.
you drive a Lamborghini? Are you rich? Do you make like $100,000 a year or a day?" There was one
Wow.
kid who I got to give kudos to,
Sure.
and especially that kid's parents, I'm guessing, because he
By all
came up
means.
and says, "I
Yeah.
got a question," and I said, "Sure, how can I help you out?" And I'm guessing he was probably a third grader,
Sure.
and he said, "Why did our taxes go up $500? And can you build an Olive Garden?" The questions that kids ask are just spectacular.
Oh, wow.
Signed a few autographs, I guess, if you want, and answered a lot of questions about what the city is and what a mayor does.
Sure.
And yeah, it was really cool. So kudos to the kids at Jefferson School. We got some future leaders there. A couple of people who are on student council,
Mm-hmm.
uh, bumping their way up to city council and maybe legislators someday. We could certainly use the help.
Absolutely.
And of course, I saw a
Absolutely.
few friends' kids in there too.
And that's this is why we do this in this format, by the way, because that was completely unscripted. I don't know if you could tell by my reaction that story I did not know. uh, that's got to be the best part about being a mayor, right?
It is
Like,
one.
I'm not saying because you got treated like a celebrity,
Yeah,
but because you get a front row seat. I mean, that's the closest you can get to a front row seat of tomorrow's leaders today without being a
yeah.
teacher.
And it is arguably it's one of the best parts of the job. I get to meet with scout troops, and the kids are the best really because they are just fascinated by all things government. They're amazed when I tell them we have 250 people that work for the city that do all the work and fixing the playground equipment and cutting the grass in the parks and fixing the roads and the police department and the fire department and all of the things that go on that a mayor is responsible for. And they just get wide-eyed. It's like, how do you handle all this? I'm like, I'll trade places with you almost any day. I do a couple of math problems, maybe a story or two, nappy time, and then go home,
Yeah,
right? So
just don't
it's
throw
not
algebra
unlike
in the
what I do
mix.
now.
Yeah, just don't throw algebra in the mix. What are
Yeah,
they? Are they letters? Are they numbers? Come on, decide here.
right. Never the two shall mix.
Yeah, yeah.
I just
So,
learned last night when we were driving home. We sometimes like tell each other trivia questions or things like that to occupy our time.
mhm,
And I learned what atomic numbers were. They're the number of protons in the nucleus of the atom. So I knew
mhm.
what atomic weight was, and I knew where their periodic table elements are, but the atomic number is actually where it sits in the periodic table, which is something I don't know, science. And I watch Big Bang Theory a lot. So you think I would have picked up on this.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, all the little facts, like Beyonce has the most Grammy nominations ever.
Yep. Has won the most Grammys
Well,
ever.
right.
In
But
fact,
I would have
speaking of
never guessed
weight,
that. And
if you
Meryl
were to put
Streep.
all of her Grammys on a scale, it'd be about 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Those
So
trophies are not light, it turns
here's a
out.
question for you.
Okay.
Um, who holds the most Oscar winnings of all time? And
Oscar
not just
winning.
actor, but Oscar winnings.
Oscar winnings.
Right. Who has won the most Oscars
It's
ever?
not Clint Eastwood.
It's totally logical once you know the answer.
Is this gonna okay? This is gonna be like the best goalkeeper in the world is Annette,
Yes,
isn't it?
I know her. Her and Cubby were on the Mickey Mouse Club. Um, yeah, it's like that. Walt
Okay.
Disney.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, right, right. And it's logical once you think about it.
Right.
We also learned the first Walt Disney character with a tattoo,
Um.
Pocahontas.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
So
So
there you go.
okay.
Random facts for your Monday mornings with the
In,
mayor and Mike's.
indeed.
How about
Indeed.
we talk some actual
How about we get to
work-related
the
stuff?
business of the city right now, and let's start with where you conduct the business,
Uh-huh.
because last week we found out this is getting real. You are getting a new city hall, and the process started last week.
Well, no, the process started like about a year ago, but we are getting to the final designs and things. So the county needs a new courthouse. It's about $100 million to build a courthouse. We don't necessarily need a new city hall, but we have outgrown our space here comfortably in the city county building, which we own 27%. We haven't had a break room since I started as mayor. We converted that into some cubicle space because we needed the room. Our IT department is actually in an old police department locker, complete with shower stall. Probably the only IT department in the state that has its own shower stall and bathrooms
Mm-hmm.
uh, built in. But rather than build a new courthouse for $100 million, the county looked at remodeling this building and said, hey, city, if you're willing to give up your 27%, we can remodel this building and get everything we need for about $45 million, saving the taxpayers 50 million bucks. Well, heck yeah. So we started looking at where could we move City Hall, and we evaluated places that we didn't even own. Just any building that would work, and we started out with anything's on the table. I don't care how ridiculous you think the idea is, let's throw it out there. And we whittled them down to just a few options that checked most of the boxes. Council made a decision on those, and we decided to swap our 27% of this building with the county who owned 1039 Ellis Street. So there's no money exchange, nothing is additional is taken off the tax roll. We're just swapping. And that actually took place a while ago. We agreed on the swap. I think it was back in March of last year. And then since then, we've been evaluating when council chose that 1039 site, we evaluated, okay, is it better to reuse that building because it had enough square footage, or would it be better just to level it and start over? So we hired some professionals to do some architectural work. The building is in okay shape. There are some weight limits that we needed to be concerned about, but nothing that was critical. The biggest issue was it's a 100-year-old building in some spots, and the remodel option was only about $2 million less than the rebuild option. Then the remodel option didn't allow us the adjacencies that we really need to run City Hall efficiently, right? We would be split up on 3 levels. Right now we're on 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awkward because if you wanted a right-of-way permit, you got to go downstairs in the basement to get your permit. Then you got to go upstairs to the treasurer's office to pay it, and then back downstairs. And none of this stuff really flows well. But anyway, so we decided that the council decided that we're going to build new on that site. And so then we started working with an architectural firm called Somerville. And we've been doing that for the better part of 6 months, meeting internally, talking about those adjacencies, what kind of space people needed, not just now, but in the future going forward. We're planning this out for a 50 to 100-year building
Mm-hmm.
and the space that we'll need. So we took all of our space studies, reevaluated those, updated them, put everything on like one floor, I guess, if you will, or one plan, and then put in future growth. So the building that we're going to build doesn't meet all of the needs for 100 years, but we have the ability to add on up and add on out. So
Sure.
we can remodel this as the needs arise, and it'll be good for 100 years or more. All of those internal meetings took place. We have an aesthetics committee that looked at, what do we want it to look like? How are we going to maintain the historic nature of the Weber Tackle Building, which used to be on that site, that 1039 Ellis. And now all of those designs are kind of vetted out. The big stuff is really taken care of, and we're ready to submit plans. Just like any other business would submit a site plan, we're doing that tonight at Joint Historic Preservation and Plan Commission for a site plan review. Provided those pass, it will go to council for consideration, and then we're going to continue to move along. We're expecting the design work to be completed and bid out. We'll be ready to take bids and accept bids in April. So construction can start probably late May, early June. We have to demo the old building. That has already been approved.
Right.
We got a really great price, about $340,000 to tear down and remove the old building completely. And they're working on that now. The new building is going to set to start construction in late May, early June. And we are expected to move in around July or mid to late summer of 2027. No disruption to city services during that entire time. On a Friday, we'll still be here. And hopefully that Monday we'll be at the new City Hall, which will be along Water Street, accessible also from Ellis. And we're looking at about $15 million, which is a kind of a hard ceiling for our budget because we're not made of money. We're trying to be as efficient as we can. But we're also putting in some options that if the budget comes in lower, we can add, or if it comes in higher, we can take away. So there's covered parking for our fleet vehicles. We've got about 16 fleet vehicles that currently sit outside right now, scattered over the course of about 2 blocks. This will give us one central location. Do we want it covered and climate controlled, so they're out of the elements? It depends. So it's an option. If it's too much, we don't do it. We do it later. But all of the options are set to be kind of a la carte. You get to pick and choose. But the new City Hall is moving along. And if anybody has comments, we've got a website created at stevenspoint.com/new City Hall. It's got all of as much of the historic data as we can find. Always, every day seems to go by, we add something new that we forgot to add because there's just so much data. We've done environmental work to check contaminations. We've done comparisons on some of the other buildings that were released now that had been under negotiations earlier because we didn't own the buildings. The cost of building new versus remodel, all of that information is going to be out on that new City Hall website. If there's something that you see or your listeners see that they think should have been done but isn't out there, call, because it probably was done. We just forgot to put it out there. So yeah, watch as construction moves along. You won't see anything like they're not tearing down the building right now. They're working on the inside, recycling and repurposing anything they can use. The actual demolition probably won't start until late February, early March.
I believe the press release said the end of February.
Yeah.
And that was one of the other things I wanted to ask you about, because a lot of these times when companies come in like this, it's a pretty easy or a cheap demolition because they take what they can and recycle it. And I know you said that environmental responsibility is something that you're going to try and keep at the center of this. So I'm guessing there's a lot of stuff that could be repurposed or recycled in that current building. Is that right?
Well, I don't know if depends on what you mean by a lot, but like all of the wiring, there's value in that copper. Some of it can actually be reused. Some of the piping, like the scrap metal is recyclable, even if they can't reuse it somewhere else. A lot of the generator we talked about, is it salvageable? Can we use it? It wasn't meeting our needs. It would just cost too much and was too old, but it might meet someone's needs, right? Maybe they sell it at an online auction or something, and someone needs a generator that they can get cheap, and they may have a mechanical ability to keep it running or things like that. Some of the light fixtures are probably reusable. You're probably not going to see a lot of like the ceiling tiles or carpet. That usually just gets scrapped. But any metal or any metals that are reusable or recyclable will definitely be pulled out. And the contractors, they always take that into consideration. So if it's a let's call it a $500,000 job, but we can sell some of the recyclable stuff and get another $200,000 out of it. Well, now we can do the job for 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
They always take that into consideration. I don't think I'd even consider a bid that didn't recycle or repurpose as much as they can. So we're minimizing what actually goes into the landfill. But if there's any lead paint or asbestos, they have to remove that first. Then really what's only going into the landfill is the busted up concrete and rebar and things like that can't really be reused for anything else.
Mm-hmm. Just like that, we've gone through 16 minutes.
Seriously.
Just like that. I mean, we didn't even really get to Division Street. So I'll let you just in the last couple of moments we have. Where are we at as far as the work on Division Street? What could people expect to be seeing here in the next few weeks, or are we still maybe a month away from that because we're still in the middle of winter right now?
We're still in the middle of winter, so we don't have the 100% design yet, but it is going from 3 lane or 4 lanes down to 3 lanes. The roundabout at 4th Avenue is still happening. We're going to be working on the north section in 26 and 27. The south section from Michigan Avenue to Minnesota should be done completely in 26. But we'll have the designs, we'll get that out to bid, and they will likely start construction on those two sections probably in May, as soon as they can get in there, and they'll be busting it up. So that will be disrupting traffic through the entire summer. And the north part will likely run into 2027. So much like you saw in Plover when they were redoing the highways there, you're going to see the same sorts of disruption and try and minimize the impact to businesses. But try and remember that the businesses that rely on that road for your patronage
Mm-hmm.
suffering a little bit. So if you can, show them a little extra love during the construction season.
Absolutely. Mayor Wiza, we always appreciate the time, and we will look forward to chatting again next month.
Thanks, Michael. I'm going to try and find some sports shirts or something to wear next time so I can outshine you.
You're going to, good luck. Good
All
luck.
right. Hey, happy Groundhog's Day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's replay the show right now.
Didn't we? Did you see it?